Hi, my name's Justin Vincent, creator of Swarm. Swarm is a two-player strategy board game, built especially for iPad. Swarm is definitely a game for intelligent players, and it's the perfect game for two old friends to play in a cafe. Or you could play Swarm to exercise your brain in between study sessions. When playing Swarm, two players play on the same iPad, one player at each end. The object of the game is to score more points than your opponent. At the beginning of each turn, dice are rolled to see how many moves you can make. Points are scored by capturing your opponent's pieces. It's White's turn to play, and I'm going to capture this drone here by moving my drone up the board. Now you can see I captured the piece because it was completely surrounded on all sides when I dropped my drone into position. You can also see that I just scored 10 points for capturing that drone. When it's your turn, you can move as many times as your dice points allow you. Each time you move a piece, it costs you a certain number of dice points. Just click on a piece to see how much it's going to cost you. Also, the board will show you where you're allowed to move that piece by highlighting the hexes. So you can see I can move this drone to any of these positions. One of the unique things about Swarm is you can also move your opponent's pieces. You can find out where they can move and how much they cost by clicking on them. So let's have a look at how this works in gameplay. It's my turn to move. I've got 10 dice points, and I'm going to capture my opponent's drone by moving his own pieces against him and then using my piece to go in for the kill. So firstly, I click on his drone. I can see that it costs 3 dice points to move it 1 square. So I'm going to move this back. Now I've got 7 dice points left. I'm going to move my opponent's other drone back. Now I've got 4 dice points left. Now I'm going to use 1 dice point to move my drone all the way up the board, capture that piece, and then move back to the starting position. Now I've got 10 points, I'm back in starting formation, and I've done the damage to my opponent. You can also score points if you can move your own pieces out through your opponent's goal. I'm going to score 10 points by moving this drone out through my opponent's goal. Firstly, I move it up the board, and then I move it sideways and drop it onto the goal, and you can see now I've scored 10 points. I've moved from 10 to 20. The game ends if you can move your queen out through your opponent's goal, or if you can capture your opponent's queen. The great thing about Swarm is there's so many strategies to win. You can play a race game, or you can play a game to capture the queen. And whatever your opponent throws at you, you can definitely find a way to counterbalance it if you look hard enough. But quite apart from being a great strategy game, Swarm is a great piece of software for your iPad. There's lots of options to help you get the most out of the game. For example, you can have different game types. Each of the game types starts Swarm in a new formation. For example, here's the Phoenix formation. There's also a detailed help system available to both players at any time. Just click the question mark. The first screen gives you an overview of what your pieces can do, and then click How to Play for a more in-depth look at exactly how to play Swarm. It doesn't matter which end of the board you're on, the help system works just the same. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching this video. I hope to see you on swarmsg.com, where you can swap tips and strategies with other players, and also learn more about Swarm.